assistant commissioner. But because they are paramilitary, we call all those regional offices sector commanders to denote their military nature. Yes, yeah, they are paramilitary by law. If you are employed, you go for the military training, you are armed, they know how to handle firearms to an extent, and that is it. So that's the general knowledge about the customs administrations in Ghana. And the other side of the divide is the World Customs Organization. As I said, kindly take trouble to do a lot of research on it. So now all these things are established. Now to make the emphatic statement, customs business cut across the entire shipping industry, and learn it from today if you don't know or you know already, and forever and ever. Customs administrators don't do anything in a vacuum. Everything customs does or any dealing with the trading public is by law. You may surprise you go and take the customs law, which I will introduce you to very soon. They are so powerful, they don't want to minus. And it is not only in Ghana. Well, if in certain countries, customs officers are more powerful than even the police or the military. So that when in most of the advanced countries, they don't see them, they don't deal with them, apart from the points of entry and exit. So should customs officers come around in your localities patrolling, everybody start looking over his shoulders. Is there anything is happening to bring customs into our vicinity? So it is. They are so powerful. So the customs have got a strong legal background, and anything that they do is backed by law. So currently, the legal position of customs, normally the mother law of Ghana is our constitution. And it is in the constitution that you find an article that empowers the country to establish revenue generation and collecting agencies who are accountable to the good people of Ghana through parliament. So customs division, as you know, Ghana Revenue Authority, the name tells you their functions, is one of the revenue collecting arms of government. And they do it by law. Every penny customs authority will tell you to pay or not to pay is by law. It's not by the beauty or handsomeness of the officer, no. So currently, apart from the constitutional requirements that are imposed in the article, the main operational law, I told you, GRA is established by Administrative Law 791 of 2009. But customs have got its current, they have got a lot of law that has been passed and been repealed by the current operational law for customs division alone. I told you all the other divisions too have got their own operational law. In addition to the 791, we have the Customs Act 2015 at 891 as amended. Yes, always add this word. The laws are not circumscribed or static. They are very dynamic. They have been amended several times. Then in addition, we have the LI, that is legislative instrument, or called Customs Regulations of 2016, LI 2248. Why are they called legislative instrument? Because to every mother law, there should be a subsidiary law or a secondary law that will help implement the law, because the secondary or the subsidiary laws are more amplified and more detailed and contains more than the mother laws. You know, you cannot load mother laws extensively, but the secondary laws are really loaded and written in detail, and all the nitty-gritties are expressed over there. For instance, when you go to the main law of the Customs Act, it empowers customs to charge state warehouse rent. But in it, you will see what is the formula to charge the state warehouse rent. But if you go into the secondary law, which is the LI 2248, it is there. Every day, if you even have a schedule published at the end of the LI, breaking down the table, the charge, or the tariff, so that nothing is done in ambiguity. So these are the two laws that customs is operating with. This law disciplines any entity that finds its space in the shipping world. So far as we have something to do with international trade, goods crossing borders, or manufacturing in Ghana, this 891 and LI 2248 suffices. everything they want to do with you, regards to control, regulation, or compliance, it is there. So they act of those laws. So the laws back them to do what they are doing, but then because we dive into the law, so we are now zeroing down with Customs Administration of Ghana, Customs Division. The question will be, why the government bother itself to establish the customs to oversee all this and that? Yes, the functions of customs, the traditional functions from time immemorial are very clear. They have to generate and collect revenue, traditional function, because the government needs this revenue to offset its traditional budget or expenditure. But take note, customs laws or customs functions are not always meant to generate revenue. Some of the laws because they are tax collecting agencies, I can tell you that some of the tax laws normally in life are not geared towards generation of money and the liquid substance to forestall, no, but it's meant to augment or achieve certain things for the same well-being of the citizens that they are going to provide the infrastructure, superstructures, and facilities for, like school, hospitals, roads. But then, if you get all these good things and they don't make laws to discipline you to discipline your morals or to discipline your mode of consumption, you might consume arbitrary and consume things that becomes health hazard and you lose your life. So certain laws are geared towards, apart from revenue, customs make tax laws or take certain steps to protect infant industries. So if you're an industry upcoming, customs will say, don't do this. Why is the established industry? Just to let you survive, and also to protect your health, and also to check certain pattern of consumption. Yes, they are very, very important. So they have got various laws, and the most important is the government uses Customs Division to perform agency duties. Those things that they do have nothing to do with their work procedures. But for want of investment to have a full-fledged office and its complements for other agencies that complements customs work, like Bank of Ghana, other regulators like Food and Drugs, and any stakeholder that has got something to do at the points of entry and exit, and they are not being able to establish. Customs is called upon by law to perform those agencies and report back to those agencies in their absence, which they do from time immemorial to today. So if you go to the airport and all the points of exit and entry, I've never in my life seen Bank of Ghana opening an office there. They call on customs to enforce their exchange control laws for them, check import travelers in and out to see the inflow or outflow of both foreign currencies and our own cedis, and they give returns to Bank of Ghana quarterly or as at when required. So agency duties, for instance, if there were to be no chemists, if there were to be no FDA workers at certain places, customs chemist takes up this job, does it, and report back. So one of the major non-revenue function of Customs Division is agency duties. So let's draw the line clear. Customs have got the revenue functions, which you understand, and then the non-revenue functions. Yes, that is very, very, very clear. So, having said that, at 891 and the LI has got sufficiency of laws for Customs Division to deal with the trading public. Always now remember, I'll be using this word more than expanding it to say importers, exporters, manufacturers. No, I'll use the trading public. So it's very, very important to know that. Then laws are made, repealed, or changed. So that's for customs for you. Then customs in its own way also metamorphoses and does shape their way of operations, so that if there are certain things that are irrelevant, though by law, they shy away from it. So it's not everything in the law that customs enforces. No. For instance, there's a policy of tolerance legal tax evasion. Tax evasion, as you know, is not always illegal. There are certain ways to evade tax that makes it legal, and customs accept it. So they've got room to tolerate all these habits of the trading public.